Okay, so let's say we have $15,400, and we want to convert this into Japanese yen. The first thing we need to do is look at what's called the spot exchange rate. That's the rate at which we convert our money today into the other currency. And let's suppose that the spot exchange rate for the Japanese yen is currently 108.94. That's JPY. That's the three-letter code for the Japanese yen to $1. And so when you have a kind of relationship like this, the one on that's in a one, so the number that's a one, we usually like to put that on the denominator just because it makes the math easier. And then the currency that's not written in a one, we'll put that in the numerator. So I have 108.94 Japanese yen, that's JPY, to $1. And so this is the rate of exchange that I can translate my 15,000 USD to JPY. And one of the questions I often get is like, if I have a currency amount that I'm trying to convert to another currency, how do I know whether I multiply or divide? And the way I kind of like to think about answering that myself is I think logically. I look at the currency ratios here. So I see $1 in terms of USD. I see 108 in terms of Japanese yen, and I look at which one is the bigger number. And so if I'm going to go from USD to JPY, I see that 1 USD buys many more JPY. So if I'm going to go from 15,000 USD to Japanese yen, I know that I need to multiply because I expect that I'll be getting a bigger number in terms of yen. 1 USD buys a whole bunch of yen, so 15,400 USD should in yen be a much bigger number. And that number is, turns out to be 1.67 or so million Japanese yen per dollar. So the other thing, let's just try one more conversion here, because I want to make a point. And let's say I have 15,400 USD, the same amount, but what if the currency, the Japanese yen, is at 120 yen to the dollar? It's still we multiply, but then the result that we get, well, the number got bigger, and the result that we get is, so the number that we get is bigger as well. But I guess my question is this good or bad in terms of the value of the Japanese yen? And so the question of whether the Japanese yen has increased in value or decreased in value, I guess the way you can look at it is maybe from the perspective of the US person here. So note that in either cases, this person starts with 15.4K. But suppose that they go to Japan and just go buy some stuff. So, they buy a TV or whatever in Japan and it's 10,000 yen. In either case, they still buy the TV, but basically look at how much further their money goes when the yen is at 120. They can buy way more TVs because that same 15,400 stretches to a larger amount of Japanese yen, enabling them to just basically buy more stuff in Japan. And so I always find that counterintuitive, The value of the yen has actually weakened against the dollar, because you actually can go and buy more stuff. But this number that we see, it actually goes up from 108 yen to 120 yen. But what that means in this case is the value of the yen is actually weakened.